What if I told you that an entire continent's written history was systematically erased, hidden, and almost forgotten? For centuries, the world has been told a story that Africa had no written languages before colonialism. But that's a lie. A lie we are going to dismantle, right here, right now. Think about writing. The alphabet you're reading this with, cuneiform, hieroglyphics. We are taught these are the cradles of civilization. But what about GEZ, an ancient script from Ethiopia that's over 2,000 years old and still in use today? Or Nsibidi, a secret ideographic script from southeastern Nigeria, used by leopard societies, with symbols that conveyed complex ideas, warnings, and stories understood only by the initiated. These aren't just isolated examples. They are part of a vast, rich tapestry of written communication that thrived across Africa long before European ships ever reached its shores. From the intricate Adinkra symbols of the Akan people in Ghana, each representing a concept or aphorism, to the Tifinagh script of the Tuareg people, etched into rocks in the Sahara Desert for millennia. Each stroke, each symbol, was a vessel of knowledge, history, and culture. So, if these writing systems existed, why don't we know about them? The answer is as uncomfortable as it is crucial. When colonial powers arrived in Africa, they didn't just come for resources like gold and diamonds. They came to impose their own systems, their own religions, and, critically, their own languages. The goal wasn't just economic control, it was cultural domination. To justify their presence, they propagated a myth, the myth of a dark continent without history, without civilization, and without writing. African scripts were dismissed as primitive, pagan, or simply non-existent. In colonial schools, children were punished for speaking their native tongues. The Latin alphabet was enforced, and with it, a new way of seeing the world. The old ways of writing, the languages of their ancestors, were suppressed. Imagine being told that your entire heritage, the words of your grandparents, the stories of your people, were worthless. This wasn't just an administrative change, it was a profound act of cultural violence. An entire continent's literary legacy was driven underground, forced into secrecy, and in many cases, pushed to the brink of extinction. Generations grew up disconnected from their own written heritage, taught to value the language of their colonizers above their own. Why does this matter so much? Because language is never just about words. It's the DNA of a culture. It's how we dream, how we love, how we understand our place in the universe. Your language shapes your thoughts, your identity. When you lose a language, or a script, you don't just lose a communication tool. You lose a unique worldview. Think about it. The Inuit have dozens of words for snow because it's central to their existence. Similarly, African languages hold concepts and philosophies that don't have direct translations in English or French. For example, the Bantu concept of Ubuntu, often translated as I am because we are, embodies a philosophy of community, interconnectedness, and shared humanity. This single word encapsulates a social and spiritual framework. When a language is suppressed, these unique, powerful ideas are silenced. The fight to preserve a language is a fight to preserve a way of being. It's a fight for the soul of a people, for the right to define your own reality, to tell your own story in your own words. It's about reclaiming your identity from the ashes of colonial erasure. But the story doesn't end in suppression. Across the continent, a quiet revolution is happening. A new generation of linguists, artists, and activists is breathing new life into these ancient and modern scripts. They are digital pioneers, creating fonts for NKO, a script invented in 1949 to unify various Mandang languages in West Africa. They're developing mobile apps to teach children the Vai script. They're artists and designers incorporating Adinkra and Nsibidi symbols into modern fashion and graphic design, making them visible and relevant for today's world. Take the work of people like Chief Ayo Adebayo in Nigeria, who has been tirelessly working to digitize and promote the Nsibidi script, creating resources so it can be learned by anyone, not just secret societies. In Senegal, there's a movement to popularize the Gare alphabet, designed for the Wolof language. These efforts are not just academic exercises. They are powerful acts of reclamation. They are saying, our history was not erased. It was just waiting to be reread. These modern-day scribes are patching the torn pages of their history, ensuring that their ancestors' voices will not be the last to use these beautiful, complex systems of writing. Now, many people see Africa's incredible linguistic diversity, over 2,000 distinct languages, as a barrier to development. They argue it complicates governance, education, and national unity. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if this diversity is actually Africa's greatest superpower? Each language is a unique library of human knowledge, containing insights into botany, medicine, philosophy, and art. When a language dies, it's like a library burning down. Preserving this diversity means preserving an immense pool of human ingenuity. Think of it as intellectual biodiversity. Just as a rainforest's biodiversity holds potential cures for diseases, linguistic diversity holds solutions to social and philosophical problems. Furthermore, multilingualism has been proven to enhance cognitive abilities, making people more creative and better problem solvers. Instead of forcing a single colonial language, imagine a future where African children grow up fluent in their mother tongue, a regional lingua franca, and an international language. They would be citizens of their village, their nation, and the world, all at once. This isn't a weakness, it's a profound strength, a source of resilience and creativity that the rest of the world could learn from. The story of African languages and scripts is not a tragedy. It is a story of survival, of resilience, and of a powerful reclaiming of heritage. The legacy wasn't forgotten, it was hidden. And now, it's being brought back into the light. From the ancient Gez of Ethiopia to the modern Nkayo of West Africa, this continent has always been a place of words, of literature, of profound written expression. The myth of a continent without writing is finally being put to rest, replaced by the truth of a rich, diverse, and brilliant literary history. The story is far from over. In fact, the most exciting chapters are being written right now. Thank you for joining me on this journey. This isn't just history, it's our shared human story. And that leads me to a question for you. Think about your own heritage, your own language. What is one word from your culture or language that doesn't have a simple English translation, but holds a deep meaning? Share it and its meaning in the comments below. Let's create a library of unique human concepts right here. And if this story moved you, please share it, so that this hidden history can finally be known. Thanks for watching.